Watch Dogs 2. That worked better than I expected. Nice. Alright. I'm here today to deal with the fallout, the consequences, the aftermath of Horatio's pointless death. It was not the best part of the plot. In fact, it was the worst part of the plot. I'm really not a fan of where they're going with it here. So it's been painfully clear from just after the start of the game that Horatio was going to die. The fact that you have so many side quests and everyone else is joking and bantering, and he's never in any of the joking and bantering, so this is the guy who's not in the optional content, right? And then he was in all the main plot content, so he clearly was, written into the game on purpose. And then that mission at Noodle, or whatever. The Noodle mission, I'm basically here to get this hack, so I'll just kind of launch a quadcopter. The Noodle mission was probably the best writing of the game so far. I really genuinely liked it, and I specifically appreciated that it's just such a rare thing for a story, particularly in something such as degenerate form as the video game. Pick up, I'll need a robot for this, too.
Oh, no, can't be happening. Where are you?
Do I care about this right now? No, I don't. I'll let him hack me or whatever. Wait, what? Oh, well, I can't let him freaking... What the hell? Dude. Huh. Okay, I guess I have to get back up there. Anyway, I'm not sure what was going on there. So the Google mission was really good. It's such a rare thing in a video game to have, not only a protagonist who is not white, but also a second minority character, and people are like, oh shit, how is this going to relate to audiences in the key demographic of whatever? It just doesn't really happen, and when it is done badly usually. But I thought it was done, but I really thought that a number of things in the game have been done well with that kind of instant, not exactly connection. Marcus and Horatio do a very good job of showing off how in certain ways they're kind of automatically more comfortable with each other and can be themselves with each other. Rather than do. What's this? It's a network bypass, I guess? Complete to unlock. So that was really good, and I was like, yeah, this is a cool element in the story, but at the same time you're always kind of wondering, well, when is he going to die and how, right? And then he does die, and it's in the most watch_dogs way possible. It's just oh shit, one of us was caught by a gang and killed, right? So all the stuff you had just finished doing about saving his job at Google and whatever, it suddenly means nothing. And it's just... And the way that then it turns into this kind of revenge fantasy against the Tezca's gang, I thought the game was better than this. But this is a low point so far. However, this puzzle thing is not a low point. This is actually really cool. I am being slightly mollified by the gameplay elements here. This is just a random side thing I did because I wanted the hacking point, but I am liking this a significant amount. Having the network bypass be sort of interlaced in and among the bridge like this is a genuinely cool and not uncool thing to do. So I've got to find out where else I can get a point into there. Looks like I've got to trace it around here. Yeah, the character of Horatio was well used, but I kind of had a sneaking suspicion that the writers would kind of go, okay, he's been used, now we'll use him up. We've made our point and proved that we can do the trendy thing or whatever. Now let's go for the familiar story beats, and it's just raising specters of the token black guy who dies. It wasn't a necessary thing to have happen and is being handled poorly so far. We'll see where it goes. I guess I'll reserve my criticism, but will not stint in it as it becomes necessary. Still, I appreciate that that we got to the point where I was unpleasantly surprised by bad writing in the sequel to Watch Dogs. So, yes, they did something right for sure. some things, many things. Not this thing, not so far. I can't really imagine how it could be made overall good. Like, it just... we'll see. Of course, few games are perfect, few stories are perfect, and this one already wasn't. But it's still a shame. Still, I really enjoyed that puzzle thing. Alright, so now I can send my RC car inside. If I can get down there safely. I'll use the same kind of network of girders and stuff there. Oh no. It made a sad little robot noise. It kind of almost died, and now it's giving off sparks, and it's clearly like on the edge of destruction. Oh god, the red light is flashing. How long can this thing hold together? Hopefully long enough to do what it's got to do. Yep. Cool. Key data. Alright, this key data enables me to reduce my botnet resource costs. There we go. Alright, let's head back into shitty story country. So I assume. No, that was the decent thing. That was about the FBI finding out about stuff. This is the bad one. Wait, what was the mission? There's something really off about the writing here. Look at that description. Nobody messes with DedSec, and it's time the Tezkers understood that. It's like... this is like written like DedSec is a violent gang, which doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense like within the internal consistency of the mission chain itself, because the start of it is Horatio just like getting kind of kidnapped and like kind of casually killed by some gangers because he is not in fact a fighter himself. It's, yeah, it's undermining itself pointlessly. While still sort of being really fun and smooth to play, like I'm enjoying zooming around on this motorcycle. This particular model is a very nice one. It reminds me that I really need to spend more time doing illegal street races, whether in real life or in the video game or whatever. I think I've done all the ones in this game. Maybe I should just replay Burnout Paradise. Not really possible to let's play it, but who cares? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. That was not a good way to sing. Well, sorry about my singing. Down, take me down. Now, this mission is still quite some distance away, but this bike is quite some fast. It's not like it's a scissor lift, right? I know they're called scissor lifts now. I'm going to try and make an attempt to stop calling them cherry pickers. A cherry picker is something different. I mean, you know, it's one of those... all cherry pickers are scissor lifts, but not all scissor lifts are cherry pickers. I was going to say one of those nickel-dime analogies, right? You know, all nickels are coins, but whatever. However, I do not like that analogy, as it is cultural imperialism. It is hegemony. Often, puzzle games or whatever, or some story with a puzzle in it, or some explanatory mathematical thing will have an analogy about American coinage in it. And I find them incomprehensible. I do not know how much a nickel or a dime is worth. I do not know how big they are or what they look like. I feel like I am being oppressed every time I have to think of these probably shitty coins. My understanding is that you don't even have like a $1 coin, I think, in America. Like it goes up to 50 cents or something. Well, a quarter is 25 cents. What is above a quarter? Is there a half? I don't know. Basically, anyway, the money is only good for very, very, very uselessly small change, so it's nothing to be proud of. Alright. So we're heading to mess with the Tezkers some more. If we accept for a moment this mission on its own terms, the basic idea is Marcus is very understandably upset about the death of his friend and compatriot and wants to get these guys, which has so far involved finding dirt on them and reporting them to the cops, which, I mean, fair enough, they were in fact doing pretty bad crimes. I'm not sure where it's going from here. Why is there more to it than that? Would they already be, like, imprisoned or whatever? Let's see. I love hacking my bike to make it go fast. I love hacking my bike to make it go too fast. That was a nice jump. Alright, who is this here?
Hey, see anything? Good to see you, Retro. You know the whole DedSec community's with you on this. Everybody likes Horatio.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it. What's the story here?
I hacked into the security cam and rolled it back a few hours. You can see the Tezcaz loading crates onto the boat. There's a ton of guys with guns.
I like a challenge. Thanks for the heads up.
Good luck, Retro.
That's all I have to say for the moment. Just kind of, Alright, well, destroy the crates of cocaine. Hey, I'm sure we're doing someone a favor here. So that is not yet a way onto the boat, but it will be if I can get an access key. What am I doing, though? Like, one thing I don't like about this mission series is it's kind of encouraging me to break from my preference of not physically actually going in there. So, anyway, let's get the access key in case I want it later on. Do I need to do anything here? Physical hack. But does it have to be a physical hack, or can I do this?
They won't like that.
Yeah, that seems pretty destroyed. I love the drones. They are probably the best element of the gameplay.
Shit destroyed. Down to 2.
This is actually kind of really funny to imagine, like, this particular mission. Like, these gang people just kind of hanging out on their drug boat, and some bullshit little quadcopter comes flying in out of nowhere and just blowing up all the cocaine. That is kind of funny.
Entire cocaine shipment destroyed.
The Tezcaz know we're serious now. Better get out of there.
Indeed. Yeah, well, that was fun. I actually kind of regret destroying my motorcycle. Maybe I didn't. Maybe it's actually still around here somewhere. Let's see. So I crashed about here, right? The bike would have been heading in this... And yes, indeed, there is a broken segment of road. Let's follow the trail of destruction. The bike would have ended up this away, unless this was flung by the impact. Or was that perhaps the impact of my head? Yeah. Oh. Clang, clang, clang. Oh, those guys have been knocking it further down the road, so actually I should be looking a little back here. Nah. What's that? Oh, I don't want to do that. Who is this guy? Hacker activist. Nope. No bike. Oh, what's this? Just another bit of debris. It despawned, I guess. Okay. Let's pull up a new one. And head on out. Hey, car on demand actually worked for once. It always, you know, summons a car. Well, almost always works, but often they're infeasibly far away. So, I guess what we're really doing here is conducting a more general campaign of vengeance against the Tezcaz in a fairly, I want to say family-friendly way. I mean, family-friendly is not the right term. Hey, that's a cool van. No, I got a bike. What I mean by that is, doing things that are generally good ideas, like preventing them from supplying tons of coke to the populace, etc., it is hard to object to that unless you're like looking to profit from the sale or whatever. So that is in and of itself fine. Where are we going next with this? Maybe that's all there is to it? We'll see it shortly. Hell yes! It's such a cool thing to just be able to do out of the blue.
Alright, the Tezca's in that video, the ones grabbed Horatio and killed him. They're next.
The main guy is Pablo the Skinner. He's hidden away somewhere. The other ones are Luis Trevino, Tina Huerta, and Jorge Gutierrez. They're meeting in the dry canals to figure out what to do about DedSec.
Good, let's get them.
Get in what sense of the word? Didn't we already have this in the previous mission? Didn't it say find out the names of those guys? Josh looked them up and was like, okay, we'll have warrants put out for them. So what are we doing now? I don't like the fact, I'm not enthused about, I'm worried about the fact that the name of the mission was an eye for an eye. It's just such a different kind of plot. It's not like I wouldn't ever play a video game about like a cycle of revenge where people kill each other or whatever. Obviously I have played such games. You can make good games like that. But this wasn't that sort of game and I was enjoying it. Alright.
Yeah, I see.
What do we got going on here?
What you got, homie?
Okay, and I am supposed to get up there. How? Aha. I really want quadcopter powers in real life. I don't want to have to carry one around or maintain it though.
Good to see you, Retro. All of DedSec is proud of how you're fighting for Horatio.
Thanks. What's going down?
I've been listening in on their phone calls. Trevino is there already. The other two are on their way.
That's all I need to know. You get yourself someplace safe.
Good luck, man.
Okay, so two things. The first thing is... Oh, fuck. I was going to show off something cool. Maybe it's still there? Yes. Alright, the first thing is... Look at this goddamn chair. How did it get up there? Who knows? I'm going to take a photo of it. That's quite amusing. The second thing is, okay, let's try and rationalize this, I guess. I primarily think of DedSec as, like, a group of 4 or 5 people who do hacking together, which is mainly how they're presented in the game. You know, this is not something I have invented of whole cloth. It is not my fanon. It is not mere fanon. Where's my bike? Where's my bike? Hello? But, it is kind of a background element of the game.
I'm tracking Gutierrez. He's arriving at the site.
A rarely mentioned background element that, I cannot find my bike. Whatever. It's a rarely mentioned background element of the game. The DedSec is actually like this sort of large, anonymous-style collective kind of thing with a meaningful amount of sort of followers and people who are just kind of associate members and hang out in various places and are like not the main guys, but still associated with DedSec.
Huerta is out.
That was easy. Just kind of presented with the opportunity to complete a mission objective there. So, the goal is to kill all of these people. I can do that. It's not even particularly difficult.
Asshat Gutierrez is taken care of.
So what's this guy got in his environment? I can't get close enough to him to bomb him the same way. But if I can lure him over to some kind of dangerous thing, of which there are many around here. Yeah, this will do it.
Damn, I think that Chavala lost us.
Or will it? Okay, just a little closer. Come on. You know, you want to investigate the gas pipe. The one that could be hacked for a lethal explosion. Yeah.
Luis Trevino won't bother us anymore. Bastard.
At least it was
Huerta,
straightforward.
Gutierrez, Trevino. A small measure of justice for Horatio.
Get out of there. That bastard Pablo is next.
What did they call him? Pablo the Skinner? Yeah. He certainly didn't seem like a nice person. I wonder if the writers felt that the game needed to have something more to it, some raised stakes. No. First of all, if so, the way they did it sucks. Like, the consequences it had for things like leaving Horatio out of side missions are just stupid. And this bike is not as good as my other bike. And secondly, they were already doing that very same stakes raising thing really well, I thought, with the "oh shit, the FBI have been watching you" thing. Like, that was fine, I was into that. However, we do not always get what we want. I did kind of like the nearly effortless nature of the revenge there. The Tezcas, too, cannot always get what they want because some guy is just, like, controlling every part of their environment and using it to brutally explode them. So, whatever. Shame for them. Shame for us all. But mostly for them.
Alright, time for the ringleader.
Pablo the Skinner. I've tracked him to the dogfights in Oakland, Chinatown.
We got a DedSec member out there, casing the joint for you.
Let's get this guy, Marcus.
Alright, Oakland, Chinatown. That is where I will head next time. See you around.